Our very first question of Unit 3 is Criteria 1.1, which is to analyse the effectiveness of teaching and learning approaches used in own area of specialism in relation to meeting the individual needs of learners. So for this assignment question, you need to reflect on a minimum of 5 different teaching and training activities or approaches you demonstrate within your current teaching and training practice. So in other words, we're reflecting on any 5 different teaching approaches or activities, for a better word, and you're going to be writing about how you use them within your teaching practice, the strengths, and also the limitations or considerations when using them as well. So just on the assignment template, we have got a range of different teaching and learning approaches, which I've listed down. You can, of course, select any 5, okay, and think about the ones that you use most within your teaching or training role. Okay, any 5 there. Just from the list, we've got a huge range. We've got activities, assignments, blended learning, buzz groups, case studies, coaching, discussions, or debates. So if you use discussions or debates within your lessons, please do select that. It's a very interesting teaching and learning approach there. Furthermore, demonstrations, group work, handouts, icebreakers, using the interactive whiteboard, perhaps a lecture style. The list goes on and on, but please be aware, as mentioned there, you can select any which are not featured on the list as well. Now, what I'd like for you to do is, once you've selected your 5 approaches or activities, I'd like for you just to complete this table here. Okay, so it's nice and easy. Question 1.1. So we start off with the name of the approach. The first section, I've done that for you, so I'll explain my example just in a moment. As we can see here, we've got the name of the approach, so please do list the approach there. Now explain the approach in detail. So what we'd like for you to do is we'd like for you to explain the approach and explain how this is used within your own teaching practice. So I think just a couple of paragraphs would be sufficient here to meet the pass criteria. We're also looking for you to explain 2 strengths of the approach, and also to reflect on a minimum of 2 limitations or considerations when using that approach as well. So just to recall, you have got 5 of these approaches or activities to reflect on. Now we're just going to come on to my example. So when teaching the level 4 course, many of my learners say, Nick, how are these answers presented, or what level of detail do I need to write? Am I writing too much? So I have put together some examples of what I use in terms of my most common teaching approaches. So the videos I will show you will go through 5 different examples as well. So the first one is assignment. So as we can see here, that is a photo taken from our assignment front sheet. So one of my courses that I personally teach is the Level 3 Award in Education and Training. If you want, within your assignment template, by all means, you can put a screenshot of the activity or approach. That is optional. You don't have to, of course, but that is just showing the assignment template that I use within my own subject area. Just on to the description then. So I've moved on to explaining about assignments and how they're used within my field. So for me, an assignment within teaching and training is a task or project provided to learners to complete within a specific time frame. Assignments are created to assess a learner's understanding of a subject. It encourages independent research and develops critical thinking skills. So assignments are probably one of my favorite types of approaches or assessment methods, because they are flexible. They allow the learner that freedom of thought to allow themselves to reflect perhaps on their own teaching role or to say their own thoughts and opinions as well. But in regards to TrainAid, we of course deliver the level 3 award in education and training. It's probably one of our popular courses. We deliver this nationwide. And on the course, we have to deliver 3 written assignments. Those are Unit A, the roles and responsibilities of a teacher, Unit B, which is inclusive practice, and Unit C, which is assessment methods. So we ask our learners to investigate those 3 core assignments, and they need to write about the roles and responsibilities of a teacher, for example. These are marked by the assessor. So we have a marking team who reviews our assignments. And from a teacher point of view, we attend regular standardization meetings to ensure that what we're delivering within our lessons that is transferred onto the assignment. So what learners are being taught is relevant to what they're writing as well. But I enjoy assignments because they're so flexible and they offer a lot of variety as well. So just on to the strengths then. So once again, for your assignment, you need to write about 2 strengths. And again, in terms of level of detail, we are looking for a paragraph of information on each one. So for me, I think with regard to assignments, there's a number of different strengths. But the first one, I think, for me is the development of critical thinking skills. So with regard to assignments, they require learners to think critically when they're researching perhaps a wide range of different sources of information, such as textbooks, websites, journals, even news articles. Learners could even reference, for example, a course handbook as well. So they do require learners to review different sources in their own time and merge that information together onto an assignment. And they could share their own thoughts and opinions about a topic as well. So it's very personal. They can express their own thoughts. It's not like an exam where that's quite a regimented approach. But I think I like this type of approach or activity. Assignments gives learners the opportunity to write what their own thoughts are as well. The next key strength, in my opinion, is time management. So assignments are flexible, as we know. It helps learners to develop their own time management skills and organizational skills for that matter. So yes, they are flexible, but learners do need to dedicate a certain amount of time for this. So they can obviously juggle their home life, work life, in order to fit around these assignments as well. With assignments, they do require a submission deadline for learners to dedicate an allocated amount of time for this. So I think when it regards to these assignments, I think they're extremely powerful because it allows time to complete, and it also is transferable because it allows learners to obviously transfer those time management skills within their working roles as well. Just on to limitations then. So for your assignments, you need to think about 2 limitations of the approach. So considerations when using them, or simply disadvantages of the approach. So once again, I would say a good paragraph of information per approach. One of the key things with assignments is plagiarism. So yes, learners can use AI software in order to create their assignments. And this, unfortunately, does happen a lot. We use a plagiarism checker for our assignments, and learners aren't developing their research skills effectively. Learners who do plagiarize, well, they run the risk of being found out, and their work is going to be scrutinized further. They may have to go through an appeals procedure if it happens to them. They may risk being ejected from the course, sadly. So it's not worth the risk. So to overcome this issue, myself, the teacher, will brief learners about how to reference sources correctly, the plagiarism policy, and also the consequences as well. So it's quite lengthy to remind learners not to plagiarize, and we also need to teach learners how to reference correctly as well. Another thing with assignments is lack of creativity or flexibility. So from the other side, there may be a set criteria where learners must follow. So for example, if assignments have a strict criteria or guidelines, then learners must follow that. Learners perhaps could feel demotivated that they can't express their ideas within a certain manner in some ways because they have to hit the criteria in order to meet the pass criteria. So it depends on qualification to qualification whether they use assignments and the criteria that must be met there. So some learners might feel, you know what, I can't talk about what I want to because of the criteria is so rigid, for example, there. But that is just my first example of my approach. I will explain 4 more because we have to write about 5. So I will explain my others there. But that is in essence, what you need to do. And once again, you can list any 5 taken from here or your own activities or approaches. So hopefully this video has been a useful one when starting this written assignment.